Alright, so we're moving right along through the Fire and Stone storyline. If you guys remember, a few videos back, I did a review on the start of the Alien, Predator, and Prometheus crossover event called Fire and Stone, and I started with its first half, Prometheus Fire and Stone, which I profess to be an amazing horror comic, and beats the shit out of Alien Covenant by a long shot. And that's even doubled here because Aliens Fire and Stone keeps upping the ante and upping how good this series is. Fire and Stone on a whole is just amazing. Now, currently I'm reading the Alien vs. Predator part of it, which is the third part of the event on a whole. This is, of course, the Aliens event is the second half. However, I would like to state that even though this is considered the second half, you could technically read this before reading Prometheus. That's right, this is a prequel comic to the storyline in general. This is a prequel to the entire event, technically speaking. You could read this, even though it's classified as the second part, you could read this and still read and then go on to read Prometheus Fire and Stone with no problems. Now, if you guys remember, for those who watched the Prometheus storyline, in that story, the salvage team that has been attacked by the Xenomorphs come across, well, they arrive on the planet of LV-223, which is, of course, the planet where the Prometheus crash landed and, you know, the start of all this. But the whole thing of it is that while there, they discovered a small shuttle from Hadley's Hope. If you guys remember, Hadley's Hope is the name of the colony that was on LV-426 that came across the Xenomorphs, and of course is the whole storyline of James Cameron's Aliens. That's right, this entire series bridges Prometheus with Aliens. Yeah. I thought it was a neat little thing of how they managed to tie in so perfectly the storyline from Prometheus to Aliens, which is hailed as one of the best sequels ever, and it's really hard to. It depends on who you ask of which is better, Alien or Aliens. It really depends on who you ask, honestly. But James Cameron's Aliens is really good. And I love how they tied it in with Prometheus, which most of you guys would know that I'm not the biggest Prometheus guy, but after reading Fire and Stone, I'll be like, if as long as it's in Dark Horse, I'm fine. Also, again, I have to reiterate, why wasn't this Alien Covenant? Because fuck that movie. Hard. With an ice pick. So, let's get into the storyline, shall we? It's been 3 minutes in, I think we need to talk about the storyline. So the story is, this set is set back several years before the events of Prometheus Fire and Stone, and it begins right with the attack of the Xenomorph outbreak in Hadley's Hope. During that, which we all know, not many survivors, but however, a small band of survivors led by an engineer by the name of Derek Russell managed to find a small ore transporter ship, and even though they know that, yeah, it's only meant for low orbiting, you know, low orbit transport, it's their only shot of getting out of here with or die by Xenomorph. So, die in space or have some horrible parasite explode out of your chest while you're screaming to God to please kill you. It's kind of an easy comparison when you really think about it. So, Russell, along with several other people, get in the ship and escape to LV-223, even though they know that, from the reports, LV-223 is not really a habitable planet. That is until they get on the planet and discover what happened. If you guys remember, in Prometheus, it's stated that in the Prometheus Fire and Stone comic, it's addressed that when the Prometheus crashed into the other ship, when he was trying to take off, all of the contents of the black goo, which turns out to be, at least in this continuity, an accelerant for evolution. So, in less than 100 years, a jungle formed, and now it's inhabited by different organisms. However, while they think, yeah, it's not going to be easy, but at least we're alive, when they think that, it turns out some Xenomorphs got on board, and shit just gets real. And this is what I love about this comic, is that even though, you know, these colonists escape, but now they're stuck in a hostile jungle which they have no way of contacting anyone, and the Xenomorphs are still chasing after them. The Xenomorphs are still chasing after them and hunting them. It's not easy. Some of them even think maybe we should have just died at Hadley's Hope. A lot of them are thinking to themselves, maybe we should just kill ourselves. And I really like that. This comic really addresses, you know, there's a difference between surviving and you know, being, and, you know, accepting it. There is a point of, yeah, some of them just want to die, and a lot of them are just they're in constant fear. They're holding it on together by a thread. No one knows they're there. Hadley's Hope, a lot of them are thinking, maybe they just blacklisted it, because I doubt the company would want that to actually, you know, get out. But still, a lot of you know, it's a lot of back and forth, and thankfully no one's really stupid, except for Cal, who accidentally let the Xenomorphs in, but he did it out of fear. And I love how everyone is like, no, we understand. It's more like, no, you've single-handedly killed every one of us. We can't get to the transmitter to save anyone. So, fuck you, Cal. And what I like about this is that it really plays on the whole accelerant, you know, this black goo, as they refer to it, this accelerant, and how they play with it. They do some out there and really, like, weird things. Like, one guy fuses with a Xenomorph. Like, not like it's fusion, ha! It's more like when the Xenomorph and him come, you know, merge into one being. It's more like his body is fused to the Xenomorph body, and he's screaming and gagging and vomiting up black goo. It's something like a Necromorph from Dead Space. It looks like he's a alien version of a Necromorph. I'm not kidding. Which is funny because Eldon from Prometheus Fire and Stone looks a lot like a Necromorph from Dead Space. Anyway, I digress. There's also some really cool stuff. Derek Russell himself is really interesting because we're following the likes of a man who's, you can clearly tell, is going insane, but it's not like ranting, raving crazy. It's more like he's letting his own ambitions get the best of him, but at the same time he's like, I know this is wrong, but I just can't help myself. And he's not doing anything that would harm anyone. He's not doing anything that's going to harm anyone. It's more like, you can clearly tell that he is not exactly stable, but he's not to the point of like, the Xenomorphs are like gods or whatever. He's not like that. It's more like, I'm fascinated by them, and I know I shouldn't be, but damn it, I can't help myself. And that's what I like, is that Derek is very likable, but at the same time, you clearly know that he is not right in the head. We also get a bit more about what happened after the Prometheus movie. There's also a big mystery regarding a mountain he's living on, and yeah, I'm really curious to see where they go with that mountain part. We get a bit more about the engineer we saw in Prometheus Fire and Stone, but not much. It's probably going to get explained a little more in AVP Fire and Stone and Predator Fire and Stone as I move along through this amazing series. No, really, have I mentioned how much I love this comic? Oh, I haven't? Let me say it again. I fucking love Fire and Stone. This has been some of the best Alien and Predator stuff I have read in, like, fucking years. Not joking. I say that with total conviction. This is some of the best stuff I've read from Alien and Predator. And it makes, it makes me like Prometheus. Yeah. Didn't think that was possible. Anyway, I'm ranting at this point. But yeah, the artwork in here, is very dark, it's very moody, and it fits with the Xenomorphs perfectly. It's very sketchy, but at the same time, it gives you that sense of, yeah, this is muddy, there's some bloody deaths in here, just some horrific sights, and even with Cal, even though he's the cause of everything, you still kind of pity him after you see what happens to him. You still feel some level of pity for him, because he was just scared, really. This is, all in all, it's a great comic, and honestly, of the two, I think I like this a little more than Prometheus Fire and Stone, but that's not saying much, because Prometheus Fire and Stone is equally kick-ass. But, yeah, I've still got a bit more to read through, and I'm going to be dragging you guys along with me. So, there you go, guys. That is pretty much my review for Aliens Fire and Stone. If you are an Aliens fan, I really recommend this. If you are a fan of and like I said, backtracking a little bit, and like I said, you can read this and still be okay, and you could read this first and then move on to the other comics, because I feel like there isn't even though it is tied into Fire and Stone, I feel like there's enough alone to make it feel like a good Alien story on its own. And if you are curious, because they do leave some stuff out to make you go, huh, I wonder what the whole mystery of this mountain is, or what's with, what was more with that engineer, There's enough, but it's not enough to make you go, oh, you have to go read this. It's more like, yeah, you can if you really loved James Cameron's Aliens, then, this is a great little tie-in piece. In fact, in the collected edition, there's an after comic that actually ties in with Hicks giving a report, and it actually ties in with this comic. It's a neat little nod as well. And it's actually featured, and it's actually like ties in directly to Aliens, the movie. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, so there's pretty much like I said, if you're an Aliens fan, I highly recommend this, and the entire Fire and Stone series. But you guys tell me in the comments below, if you've read Aliens Fire and Stone, what did you think of it? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.